That's why meditation on compassion is not just sitting there saying, I'm very nice, I don't get upset, I don't get ugly, I don't react back, and people who are mean to me, never mind. That's not compassion. Compassion is what? Compassion is realizing the interdependence of our existence, and that we should take responsibility to encourage positive actions. And that we should give of ourselves. Highly realized beings, like Mahatma Gandhi, like Nelson Mandela, highly realized beings, they give of themselves. They go through, like Mahatma Gandhi went through a lot of self-sufficiency. He starved himself, hunger strikes, to fight against colonialism. He never hurt one person. He never struck a weapon against one person, but he freed millions of people from difficulties through the practice of accepting other people's pain and giving his happiness over. And how did he win over freedom for many people? Through conscience. That is reflecting. So that's why, by reflecting on our mother's kindness, for a normal human existence is very beautiful. When we're respectful of our mother, when we're respectful of our father, when we're respectful of elderly people, when we're respectful of older people, it's a very beautiful practice. Why is it a beautiful practice? Then there's some kind of order. There is some kind of order. Why should we be respectful to older people? We can learn from them. We can learn, and we should respect the difficulties that they went through their whole life. If we respect their difficulties, people will respect our difficulties. If people respect our difficulties, then our interdependent relationship becomes easier. We can't go through life saying, they owe this to me, they give this to me, they give this to me, they give that to me, and that's all. What kind of person do we become? But if we have a feeling of, I wish to repay other people's kindness, I wish to give back their kindness, I promise you, your stinginess and miserliness will melt. Will totally melt. Your emotional trauma, such as you feel pain, holding on to pain, will melt. I promise you. Your anger or your ability to hold anger will melt. And when you see another person, even though they've harmed you, hurt you, you will not think about what they did to you. You will think about the karma that will come back to them, and you will do everything you can to help them. You won't even think about what they've done to you. You will think what will happen to them, and you're more concerned about them than yourself. If you develop that type of mind, no unhappiness will come your way. You will never run out of money. You will never run out of resources. The whole world will be there to help you and assist you. Mahatma Gandhi, the Dalai Lama, all these people, Mother Teresa, they never starved, they never went hungry, they never wasn't want of money. Why? Why? Because they developed this type of mind of repaying other people's kindness. That is a much more beautiful way of living our life. Even if we don't believe in the next life at this moment, that's okay. But living a life of taking responsibility for other people is much more beautiful. So we shouldn't think of just our brother, just our father or our sister, or always what we've done. There are people who take care of hundreds and hundreds and thousands of people, and those people don't even come and say thank you to them, but it doesn't stop them from helping. So our little help to one person, or two people, or three people, or four people, five people, is very insignificant. Why? It is believed in the Buddhist text, and let me make this clear. It is believed in the Buddhist text, people in this life that we help and give and assist, yet there's no result and they drain us, are people we've damaged in the previous life. We owe them. So in this life, if we're owing back our karma, and we complain about it, in the next life will become like that. The next life like that. Like it never ends. How do we end it? How do we end it? Then we'll say, well, how come I always have to give the money? How come I always have to be the one that takes responsibility and help? And they don't. Because you know the Dharma. You know something better. So why should I always give and they don't have to improve and I improve? Because you know better. Look, if a father and a son, the father is 40 years old and the son is 5 years old, and they go to a shopping mall, and someone rams their cart by really fast and almost runs them over, and the kid throws a little BF and jumps up and down, starts crying and screaming, everybody there like, it's a kid. But the kid remains very calm, and the father jumps up and down and screams and throws a BF, everybody will be like, grow up. So what's my point? If you know the Dharma, and you know the law of cause and effect, and you call yourself a spiritual person and you take refuge It is your job to absorb other people's suffering. It is your job. If you can't even absorb your own family sufferings, don't talk about all sentient beings. So, the meditation on compassion, the meditation on developing compassion, starting, not ending, starting with reflecting on the mother's kindness, is to open our minds to live a life of appreciation for others. And therefore, when we appreciate others, we give to others, help others, right? When we give and help others, all of our inner turmoils and passions and anger and all the selfishness and miserliness melt away. That is the secret. From remembering other people's kindness, one's own passions and emotions and all these negative energies will become less. And less and less and less. That's a very powerful practice. Therefore, when you see highly evolved beings, they can just give their time to people and not expect anything back. And they can give their knowledge to people and not expect anything back. They can give their money away. They can give their possessions away. They can give anything away. Food and clothes, whatever people need. They just give and give and give and give. And there's no limit. Sometimes they even give for things that they need, they take and they give away. That's a very highly evolved person. Why is that highly evolved? Because it's different than normal people. Normal people cannot do that. And that's the type of person that has meditated on compassion in their lifetime or lifetimes. That's a sign. That's a sign. So therefore, when we're in the presence of these people, how do they make us feel? They influence, bless, and encourage and inspire us to become the same. When we become the same, you know who gets the benefit? In the beginning, you may be helping your brothers, you may be helping your people, your friends, and you may be helping losers who never help themselves. You can be helping, but you'll be eventually coming across and helping people who change and transform, help many other people. And that will overcome the few losers that you have helped. Okay, but that is expectation, but that's our level. At the same time, when we help other people, we should help with a real sense of taking responsibility. Real sense of responsibility. We can become much better people if we take responsibility for our lives and for the people around us. So how they become or what happens to them, we should help them all the way. And sometimes we find it very difficult to help them. Do this meditation. Visualize they have died. And they're not with us anymore. Then we will regret we didn't help. And when we help, it's very important to always think. And don't talk, and don't advertise, and don't let people know what you have done. I'll tell you why. When we do that, we can become habituated, and the whole point of helping is lost. Then no one appreciates why. All they hear is how much they've been helped. And they think, why are you helping me? Because you want to look like a saint? Very, very important. So this meditation is extremely powerful for developing compassion that wishes to liberate others with no sense of loss, and to give with no sense of loss, to share with no sense of loss, and to give what you have with no sense of loss. By giving with no sense of loss, you will create the karma to receive more and more and more. It will never stop. That is a guarantee. So even if we give with that kind of knowledge, it's still attachment, but it's different levels. So therefore, what's very important is the meditation on compassion is another method. It's another powerful method for us to cut through our selfish, self-centered emotions, which is the cause of all of our pain. Which is the cause. When we look at people who give, why do we look at people who give? People who give easily, it's very easy to see their heart. See, if you go deeper, we have to look inside their heart. It's very hard to see inside their heart. But we can see outside when they're always giving. And we can observe these people. They give to even people that don't do anything for them. They can even give to people they don't even know. They can even give to people they have no idea who they are. And they give to these people without any expectation. Nothing. And all they want to know is if they're happy. Why? Because these type of people encourage the growth of compassion. And they have developed compassion. So you can check like that. People who are very miserly, and people who are very stingy, and people who are not able to give is a very gross, Gross, indication of the level of their meditation. It means they're not at any level. So people who cannot give, they cannot give their time, they cannot sacrifice their effort, they cannot give of their knowledge, or they cannot give their money, they cannot give their help, they cannot give or they give only on the basis of if they're forced to, embarrassed to, or they have to. This is a clear indication of the level of their meditation and the level of their mind. Why? What other ways can normal people judge other people? What other ways? It's very, very simple. So for Buddhist practitioners, giving is very important. Giving is very, very important. It's a very important indicator of one's level of compassion. Then some people say, well, I only make $1,500 a month. What can I give? Well, when you do work, you can do it well. So people don't scold you. People don't have to remind you. That's giving. That's giving. When you promise people something, you do it. That's giving. Why? You're not taking away from their emotions. They don't have to, when they're around you, they don't have to feel scared or nervous or at wit's end. Are you going to do it? Are you going to be responsible? Can you do it or not? You don't create any mental problems for them. That's why emotional giving is very important. What we say in our mouth, we do. When we say in our mouth and we do, and we promise it, that is giving. Why? What are you giving to the other person? What are you giving to the other person? You're giving them reliefs of their mind. Emotional giving. You can look around. You can look around people. People who only take, give me. They talk, they don't give. They don't fulfill their promises. They only talk, they don't give. But they take. And they're very happy to take. What kind of energy do they have? What kind of energy do they have? And then people who always give, how do you feel around them? People who don't give, when you go out with them, you feel you're going to be shortchanged. You feel a little nervous. You feel you're going to be cheated. You feel very worried. Very uncomfortable feeling. Very uncomfortable. And then when you go for discussions with them, they promise, I'll do this. They talk, but they don't fulfill. How do you feel? That's not giving. Hey, I'm going to sweep out the center once a week, and then they don't do it. How does it make you feel? But when you're around people who give, who share, who keep their promises, who are emotionally responsible, they're very kind people. Why are they very kind? They develop a level of care for others where they force themselves to be emotionally responsible. People who are not emotionally responsible, they're not caring people. They're people who are used to taking and not reflecting on the kindness of others. They're emotionally very selfish. So these type of people, it's even more dangerous. More dangerous. Why? If they get things, they won't share. And by the time they get things, their mind's already settled into that type of thinking and that type of mode. Very hard to switch back. Very hard. That's why you say, oh, older people are set in their ways. Oh, yes. It's very true. Very, very true. And to always wait for others to pay, or wait for others to do, wait for others to clean, and you don't do, you expect them to do, and you just wait and wait and wait, is a sign of a person whose mind is extremely irresponsible, meaning what? They don't take responsibility for others, they don't reflect on the kindness of others, and they don't reflect on interdependence. And these people usually end up quite lonely, quite unhappy, whether they're rich or poor. When they're rich, people wait for them to die to get their money. They're nice to them, not because they love them, because they want something. They feel it. And I've seen many older people like that. And then the people who don't have money, they're completely abandoned. Completely abandoned. Why? They have nothing to offer people. They've used their life for what? Getting. So this meditation on the mother is not to check whether our mother is pure or not. This meditation on the kindness of the mother is to develop from our point of view a type of attitude that realizes the interdependence of that we live together. And it will be more beautiful and more harmonious if we actually took responsibility and shared kindness and went out of our way to help others and not hold anything back. It's not a meditation to check their motivation. You understand?